Mumbai developers have realized they have a standard excuse for every issue. You get very tired with the approvals, the PMC.
A very good citizen paying taxes but still deprived of its rights.
You hit the nail on the head. And in one way, I find Mumbai very unique because in many other cities by now, you would have probably seen riots.
So the slum is never going to go is what my perspective is. I need to know your perspective in just one word. Luxury in Mumbai.
Elevator wait time.
Amenities.
Showpiece.
Vishal, Bhargava.
That stumped me. Okay. The only worst feeling besides poverty, I think, can be feeling empty. So you need a purpose.
People call him the messiah of, the affordable housing and all. I think a guy of 5 feet tried to just sneak over and just check that he couldn't.
I don't know one builder who can tell me when the camera is not on that he's not had to pay a bribe.
Let's take you for a ride and then understand what is your perspective about the other side of the market. Thank you, Vishal, for being a part of this perspective. It's important that we hear your perspective because you've been the voice of, affordable people. But let's take you for a ride and then understand what is your perspective about the other side of the market. Now, Vishal, tell me, you've always cut through the forth and, spoken for the mass. But what really triggered this in you?
So, firstly, thank you, Hamza, for having me and all the best for the show of yours. I think the way just you gave me the invitation card itself showed me the glimpse of what you aim to do with the show. So, all the best for your perspective. My own journey in real estate is as real estate journalism or media. It began because I went to buy a home.
Okay.
And when I went to buy a home, I realized that there was no information that was useful for a buyer. You had lots of content, okay? You had lots of data, but there was no information. So I realized at that point, while I went and bought a home and it turned out to be a lucky bet, I realized most of the content in real estate is helping a seller sell a home than helping a buyer buy a home.
Okay.
So in that way, while we keep thinking of customer being a king, in real estate, customer may be the king just from the point of giving money, but the services are not for him. The services are for everybody else who caters to him. So just when the opportunity came to explore things in terms of real estate content, I started out with doing some content with CNBC, and then one thing led to another. And I think the real estate as a universe is very large, untapped, and since not many people had done what I do, the traction was quick.
So tell me, what do you think of Mumbai as a real estate? Because from my perspective, I think it's like a very good citizen paying taxes, but still deprived of its rights.
You hit the nail on the head. Mumbai is that, that dutiful child, okay? But the father does not love that child. Okay. So think of him, I have not seen the movie, but think of him as the movie Animal. Imagine Ranbir Kapoor being a good guy.
Oh.
Okay. So Mumbai, everybody I think does a lot for the city as a citizen in Mumbai, right? The problem is they don't get anything back. And in one way I find Mumbai very unique because in many other cities by now, you would have probably seen riots with the type of exploitation that happens to the taxpayer or to the average citizen. So call it, I don't know, they're not having choice, or the spirit of Mumbai, that term which I completely despise from the bottom of my heart. That people have started somehow accepting it. And secondly, I think people are so occupied with just having a daily struggle of survival that they're not able to look forward and fight for their future. So they're so stuck with fighting the present that they don't have energy to fight the future. So I fully agree with you on that. Mumbai is that citizen who does not get anything back in return. He just gives, doesn't get anything back.
But tell me, why is there a limping factor that is there in Bombay? Is it because people are not realizing the potential of Bombay, or are developers just probably trying to create a facade out of Bombay that, aap wo Maya Nagari mein aa gaye ho, and then but people still don't feel they've achieved. Okay. So there was this deal of, 600 crores, but just opposite to it, there are people who are still waiting for the roof. What do you think about this deal that happened?
So it's a very high priced deal, and I'm sure the developer who did it also. I'm guessing you're referring to the deal at Namanzana at Worli, a 2.8 lakh rupee per square feet deal. I'm sure. Okay, I don't know them very well. I'm sure if you had told them even last year that you would get a deal of even 2 lakh per square feet, they would not have believed it. Okay, so this is, I think, one of those one of the deals which just happens. Right person, right product, right time. I can understand to some reason why a deal like this happened at a high price. Though if you ask me, would I be in a position to justify 2.8 lakh per square feet? No, but then that's the choice between the buyer and seller. The framework for me for such a deal is, one, it is sea facing. And for a variety of reasons, sea facing has a charm in Mumbai and most other cities that is unparalleled. Two, it is Worli sea face. Even within sea facing, there is Marine Drive, there is Worli, there is Bandra, there is Juhu.
Right.
But Worli is at the top of the top there in people's viewpoint. Third, which I think is very important, is that it is a non-redevelopment building. Most of these sea facing towers that we are seeing coming up are redevelopment, where there can be that compatibility issue between the old owners and the new owners. This is plain greenfield, and density is very low. So in that way, it probably ticks all the boxes, besides being almost ready.
So tell me, is it architectural engineering, a beautiful penthouse, or just ego on display? What is it?
So I don't know how much architectural skill was on display. I've seen
Talati did it.
But Talati's and many others around it.
Of course, in Worli, I think he's one of the best, and of course,
I think every second, third building over there is now Talati.
Talati, yeah.
So in that way, I don't think that is the game changer. I think for that building, if I just look at it on any of the sea facing which is non-redevelopment and almost ready, there's no option you have actually.
I think there is a Tata building just in the line to it, Silvery.
But that's ready, right? That's ready building. I'm saying a new building with what people call modern amenities, and which is completely devoid of any issues of compatibility between old owners and new owners, very low density. There was one building at Bandstand which could have been there. The plot Rustomji bought from the Parsi Trust. I gather that the owner of the person who's bought that apartment, Namanzana, actually stays in Bandra Bandstand.
Oh.
Okay. So her ideal preference, I'm guessing, would probably have been the one at Rustomji Bandstand, just that's not taken off. That's not started. So this is the only one that if I really want to upgrade and I want to upgrade quickly, this becomes the only bet because it's the only new building that's close to completion. Okay,
now you said about it was blocked, it didn't start off. But usually this happens in real estate is that, there's good brochure, there's good marketing gimmick, there's sea facing, there's these amenities, the lifestyle change and everything. But a lot of people don't realize that behind all of these, there are a lot of stuck approvals. There is this policy that has come up, the builders have to bite their teeth, feed off 100 teeth. Do you think builders are corrupt over here, or is the system that is corrupt, and there is just this notion that, builders are just making money or minting money out of this?
So, Hafsa, I'll say something that most people will not expect me to say. Okay. I don't think builders are inherently corrupt or evil. I don't think that. Okay. Today, if maybe you'd asked me the question 20-25 years back, my answer would be different. Right now we are in this, nexus where several powerful people are involved, where even if someone wants to be honest, he can't be honest. Okay. So I don't know one builder, okay, who can tell me when the camera is not on, that he's not had to pay a bribe. Not one builder. And I met 2,000 builders in my life. Okay. So I refuse to believe that all 2,000 of them have that, that blood where corruption runs really deep.
Of course.
So it's a nexus, but I will still say, Hamza, that I do believe there's light at the end of the tunnel.
If you have paid money, of course there is going to be light, right?
No, I don't mean from the point of view of the buyers.
Okay.
In terms of for the builder, for the developer. I think things are better today than they were 20 years back.
Why is that?
Like earlier, the rules of FSI were only very distorted, right? You the things of flower beds, balconies. We have seen some degree of improvement there. Now, to a large extent, it is speed money to get things done or to get other clearances which are not easily attainable. It was not like the earlier rampant stage. So I see light at the end of the tunnel. For buyers, I agree with you on one thing. See, brochures, I frankly don't understand why builders spend so much money in brochures. All of them are rubbish. I take all of them, it goes in my house, and after a month, my wife dumps it. Okay. And if she looks at it because she has a hobby to see, what's new and all.
Yeah.
But there's not one brochure that has stayed in my mind. Now, I'm not saying Plot 38 may be an exception when we are setting. Okay. I haven't come and seen your project before. But so far, all the brochures that I've seen, it's like a template.
Yeah, because when we start marketing at any developer, okay, be it a Lodha, be it a Rustomji, be it anybody, what they have to do first is they have to prove first who they are. Okay, I'm sure now Lodha doesn't need that, or there might be developers who don't need that now, but then everywhere, I think even a Lodha, when he went to Thane and had this Amara done, I think he had to prove, first we have to do this opportunity document. What are we going to give? But actually, like you rightly said, it's only beneficial for the developer, right? And then we have to do this brochure, and then we have to do. So there are 10 things we have to do. But is this bandwagon really going to help users understand what they are getting? Because I think a lot of projects they are just being held hostages by the government.
Okay. So see, I'll tell you in this part, one interesting thing I noticed. Now, I don't know whether it will succeed or no. I saw the recent marketing strategy by House of Abhinav Lodha for one of the projects that they're doing in Naigaon. Okay, where there is no sample flat.
Oh,
there's no sample flat. There is a scheme where the builder offers post possession for 1 year. I'll buy it back at the original price. Okay. Now, for the first part, see, sample flats are not meant to help the buyer. They are meant to confuse the buyer because the moment you enter in to a sample flat, like there are 3 or 4 checkpoints which I tell everybody to just have a glance, because I'm sure those things will be there. When you enter it, there will not be doors.
Yeah.
The floor to ceiling will be high.
Right.
To give you the feeling that it's a big thing. Then when you go to the bedroom will be so small that maybe your and my child will not fit in comfortably. Okay.
Right.
It's so small to give you the illusion that the bedroom is big. The one new technique I've seen actually is, which is not very common. So I must give credit to the developer there. I won't name who the builder is, but he's a branded builder who's listed, where the cupboards are thin. So I remember I went over there, and it's a very interesting case. I went over there, the cupboard was transparent.
Right.
And the hanger was diagonally placed. So I was like, okay, that's not done right. So I went inside, I said, let me fix it. I opened the door. From diagonal, I moved it straight. The moment I did it straight and tried to close the cupboard, it didn't close. Then I went and saw, oh, this is a really thin cupboard. But the idea of the cupboard was to make it so thin that the room looks big.
Yeah, so of course, I come from a background wherein, I've also seen places, been there, done that. And also I went to this, where people call him the Masiha of, the affordable housing and all. I went to this developer's sample flat, and it was a show flat because it was very well done. I think a guy of 5 feet tried to just sleep over and just check that he couldn't. So it's actually just gimmick. I don't know why do developers do this, because at the end of the day, it's not a happy case scenario, because there are so many points that are going to be there which is going to hinder his sales.
But I think developers do it also because they think short-sighted. They say, "Mujhe abhi sale chahiye."
Quick money.
After the possession happens, then the buyer often feels cheated. Now, do I blame the buyer for this? To an extent, I do, because in real estate, you have to go with the assumption that सब लोग मेरे को यहाँ पे चिपकाने के लिए आ रहे हैं. Okay, so you are on your own. So you have to be very, very vigilant on every part that you're seeing. I've gone to more showrooms and I'm 6 feet tall. I don't fit in the bed. So being tall in Mumbai is a very bad thing.
Yeah, you have to customize Bombay for you.
No, you don't customize me. tall people find it tough to be.
Yeah, of course, I understand. So now we spoke about this affordability, but what I personally think is affordability is just a marketing gimmick. Okay, these affordable people, there are people who earn around, somewhere between 50 to 60 or even lesser. This affordable housing concept, I feel, is just breaking the entire Indian ecosystem. Now tell me, what I feel is, there is a family, there is a dad, there is a son or a daughter or anybody. What they tell is, हम ये घर ले लेंगे because the marketing or the developer is saying this is very much affordable for you. You have this good schemes around. But what I think is, first, it's just breaking the families. Second, it's
What way? Why do you say breaking the family?
It's because, see, a dad wants to stay with his son, but the son then decides to move. I'm going to move because I'm going to have my space, which is quite affordable, right? Whereas luxury, what I feel is, bringing families together in the Indian ecosystem, like, North Mumbai, South Mumbai now, developers are having this tag, it's a spacious home. Because when COVID happened, there was a crisis for this packed homes. I feel crisis brings out the best in cities, in the urban infrastructure, in the residential infrastructure, and suddenly people started realizing that, we want bigger homes. Bigger homes, of course, in Mumbai will come with bigger prices. Affordability, what happens is, people know that, this is going to be affordable, but at the end of the day, people are just breaking families. And it's just a cleverly packed pressure, because half of your salary is going in EMIs. What is your perspective into, all of this?
That's an interesting view that actually affordable homes are breaking families. So one way, when I look at it, since this is food for thought while we are talking, it's actually true. Means because homes are high, most people families are compelled to stay together because homes get cheaper, even though it's not, even though they're very compact. It at least gives the option for the family to separate. I don't know, Hamza, whether at a society level, I don't have a view on giving moral judgments on how society should be, but from the limited Ekta Kapoor shows I've seen, I think it's better for families to stay separate than together. So in one way, builders are actually creating harmony between families by offering affordable homes which allow families to stay close but not too close. Better that Hafsa stays in an apartment next to where her parents do, okay?
But not literally stay together.
Rather than the same room.
Yeah. But does Bombay really need that? Because I think there are too many developers, too many developments. See, because Mumbai is a city which is not growth starved, it is land starved.
Well put.
So, what do you think is the real requirement of Mumbai? And sorry, I have this habit of saying Bombay is because I've been from Bombay and I've received a lot of backlash, but that just comes natural out of me.
So, I'm so thankful that you're one of the few people who's told me this line, and I've had this pet beef for long. We just have too many builders. We don't need so many builders. We have too many small builders who don't have the bandwidth, capability, capital, but mujhe builder banna hai. And I never understood, why do you have this dream of being a builder? Everybody abuses you. It's not that, I want to be a builder because I'll get respect.
Yeah.
Or I'll get power. You don't get power until the buyer buys from you, right?
Right.
The only time you get power over a buyer is after he buys from you. After that, till the time of OC, he is beholden to you. Right. Building gets stuck, you have all the leverage. So, we need lesser builders. I think if 90% of the builders go out of the business, Mumbai will become a better city. We'll have better buildings and cheaper buildings. Because I don't subscribe to the point of view which says that because of so many builders being there, home prices are low. If more builders come in, there'll be a cartel and prices will go up. I don't subscribe to that. Okay.
Right.
And because the proof of the pudding is in the eating, we've had many builders for too long.
Right.
Have prices been lower for the home buyer?
No. It's just getting...
And the counter argument is what to most builders, our costs are very high. Now, why are costs very high? There are 2 or 3 major components, which I'm sure for in the builders, it must be like a daily...
So 30% of the entire approvals and everything, licensing costs have completely gone up.
Okay, licensing costs have gone up, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now just think of it this way. You have licensing costs, you have your premiums,
Right.
and you have land costs.
Right.
Those will probably make up what, 60-65% of your costs?
Of course.
Huh? Now, if you have too many builders, what happens on both these parts? First one, your land price goes up. Why? Because on a particular piece of land, instead of 5 builders being there, there'll be 25 bidders. The price of the land goes up, especially in a land-starved city like Bombay.
Of course.
Number 2, your premiums. Now, because municipality knows कि हाँ ठीक है, Hafza or 5 builders are not happy with it, but there's still 1,000 builders who are willing to take up projects, so I'll get my premiums. So there is no incentive for them to align the premium structure which can make real estate business friendly.
Sure.
धंधा आ रहा है उनको ना, it doesn't matter because if 5 builders have a problem, 1,000 more are still waiting to pay them premium. The leverage will only come, okay, on both sides if we have fewer builders but stronger builders who can lobby with the government कि boss तू कम कर, नहीं तो मैं धंधा नहीं करूंगा. And same thing for land. The landlord in Mumbai is king. 10 builders will say boss it's too expensive. The 11th guy will come and say नहीं ये land का खर्चा ठीक है मैं उठा दूंगा क्योंकि I'll make such a great product. I'll make a Taj Mahal. I'll get my price. And then the land price is established at a high level.
Right.
So we need lesser builders, better builders.
See, whoever comes to Bombay, it's called Maya Nagri, and it's called Sapno Ki Nagri and everything. And I too personally have single-handedly witnessed this, that if anybody comes to Bombay, they don't sleep or empty stomach or they have their hands full. But what if I tell you that this city is an influx of the slum that has been happening? So the slum is never going to go, is what my perspective is, because luxury also has its own space. What happens is there's a person who's gotten a slum to himself. He stays in that slum, he makes money, he gets out of it. Then uska brothers, sisters, chacha, and all these people come, then they stay in the slum. So it's a never ending loop. What is your perspective about this influx that is happening in Mumbai?
See, influx, to be honest, I think has reduced in the last decade and a half, 2 decades. If you look at the population data of Mumbai, it's not growing the way it used to. At one point, after independence, because of partition, 2 cities on both sides of India and Pakistan saw a lot of population, Karachi and Mumbai, because of the population transfer. Bombay gained huge amount of influx. After that, for many decades, it was still the only city of India. There was no Bangalore, Gurgaon and all, right? So everybody who wanted to make a living had to come over here. Because of that, we saw huge amount of migration and supply was too starved.
Right.
Okay, of homes. Things like FSI and all have come in the 1960s only with the first plan.
Right.
And that too was 1.33. So it was too little. So where do you go? The only form of housing became slums.
Slums.
Then I think the system got abused severely. Slums matlab free home mujhe milne wala hai.
Right.
I remember I was reading in some of the old newspapers. In the 1980s, there was a scheme where the government said that you have to move from a slum and we will give you 10% of the subsidy for a new home. Okay. So new home comes in. Out of that, if the cost is 1 lakh rupees, government will pay 10,000. The slum bill has to be 90,000. Slowly, because of politics, that 10% subsidy became 100%. Now it's a free home. And when it's a free home, slums will only keep rising.
Right.
But now I don't know how much land is actually there. So I don't see slums actually happening many in Mumbai because all the public land has been either sold or encroached. The bus depot land is now being sold.
Yes, everything. The Worli dairy, everything is just now being sold.
So government land in Mumbai is meant only for 2 purposes. One is you allow it to get encroached by slums, or 2 you sell it. There is no third purpose of giving it for an open space, for a garden, a park.
Right.
So, but slums I think will happen now in Mumbai 2.0, 3.0.
Yeah, it's going to start over there. I think people have realized that it's going to be the next big thing. They're all going to shift over there. We just spoke about supply and demand and everything. What I've realized is, how DLF put Gurgaon on map and Hiranandani queried his way through Powai. There are 2 parts to this question. So one is, there is no developer who actually says like, fuck it, I've made this. This is what I want my money for, and this is going to be the wow thing, like a luxurious thing. What Hiranandani did with Powai, like his first project. I still remember when Mr. Contractor and Mr. Hiranandani and Mr. Surendra speaks about it. They came with the mindset that they knew they're going to make this, and they spent more during that time in construction and made it look like the most beautiful monument that there is. even for the architects, I think that is a beautiful case study what they made. So there is no developer who is doing that. What do you think? They're just responding to the demand, or they're not making anything that makes them that a developer.
So see, Mr. Hirandani and DLF and a few others around India, they are actually exceptions to the rule in any sort of business because their achievements are phenomenal. Now, a lot of it is skill, but some of it is luck also, right? Now, when I read Mr. Hirandani's some content, he sold his first apartment, I think some 241 rupees per square feet. Okay. Now, you need to do that when you want to attract migration to a place that otherwise nobody wants to go to.
Right.
Which is same like Gurgaon. When DLF launched, they had very low prices. Now, I think builders for some reason want to ask people to migrate to come in the middle of nowhere while not giving a price that is attractive enough. Okay. Now, the biggest example is Navi Mumbai. Now, Navi Mumbai, to a large extent, it's like a dormitory.
Yes.
People go there to sleep. All the work is elsewhere, right? Prices of Navi Mumbai are more than many locations of Mumbai. Now, why will somebody from Mumbai migrate there?
Right.
You have to give them an incentive. They have not done that. Second thing, for most builders, I think now they're okay treating real estate as a, one project thing. I make one project, bana dunga main, and I'll live happily for. Yeah. That vision.
Yeah.
That is disappearing.
Exactly. Of course.
Now maybe it's an issue of land, capital, I don't know. But for most of the things, when I get the subtext of my conversation is, their idea is quick in, quick out. Go inside, build a project, sell, make money, get out. They don't have a vision of 30 years that I'll build this big land parcel.
Yeah, what am I going to do with it? Vishal, you just spoke about how people travel to one place to another. When in Navi Mumbai, people just go to sleep. So tell me, what is the solution to this? Does Mumbai need reclamation, or does it need a good decentralization?
I think Mumbai needs decentralization more than reclamation. See, reclamation, my fear actually what? As an idea, it sounds very interesting, and globally, many cities have done it, and it's worked, etc., etc. In Mumbai's problem is that if we reclaim, our politicians believe that Mumbai is only land.
Okay.
So my fear with reclamation is that you'll reclaim it, but then it'll be auctioned off. So decentralization is a better way, where there's already land available and you're making it habitable and prosperous.
Right.
Now, Navi Mumbai should have been that. They started in the 1970s with the idea to decongest Mumbai. It's not happened, but I believe in this decade, 50 years late, it will happen. Okay. I think finally things are coming together. It will not be as rosy as I think some of the brokers and builders in Navi Mumbai believe it so. But I think eventually infrastructure, airport, community, residential offices will make that place livable. People in Navi Mumbai who stay will also work there. And that is very good for Mumbai and for Navi Mumbai. Because prices over here will start coming down because of demand, and prices over here will rise up, subject to whatever quality of life, etc., etc. So, for me, I look at decentralization as a better way than reclamation. Like reclamation, like I said, we are now in that zone where Mumbai क्या value सिर्फ जमीन में और कुछ नहीं है.
You think in Mumbai people buy for address? What is your perspective on that? Like, South Bombay, a 300 would be, around crores. The same 300 in the north end of it is not as much. Do you think address is an important part in Mumbai?
Addresses. See, at a luxury level, it is. Ashish Raheja told me one very good line. You have to know the difference between location and address.
Right.
So, Dharavi is a great location. Okay. Now, I know when somebody hears that, they think, what are you talking? But if you look at it at a structural level, it's between the Eastern Express Highway, Western Express Highway, close to BKC, everything is there.
I think that's the best location. After BKC, of course, what BKC is, done to itself now, and the new High Court and everything coming up, it's going to be the next thing. But I think Dharavi is the strongest household of Mumbai. I think it's the backbone, if you really ask me.
So it's a terrific location, but nobody will want to say that, I stay in Dharavi. Afza and Vishal, if we have an apartment there, they will say, no, we stay at Sion, we stay at Bandra East, we stay at Lower BK, we do all the rubbish.
Yeah.
Okay, that is location. Address will be Pali Hill.
Yeah.
Now, I stayed in Pali Hill 25 years back. That time it was a lot pleasant than it is today. Okay. And it's just an address. There's no fundamental benefit of staying there besides that. Just saying, the return on ego.
Yeah.
I stay at Pali Hill. So it matters, but it matters more at the luxury level.
Where do you think is the luxury market in Mumbai heading to? I mean, the city has wealth. The poor don't know of its wealth, or maybe they know, but the narrative is not clear to them. Where do you think this graph of luxury is going, and how important it is for cities like Mumbai to have this luxury quotient? Because, a lot of people are coming in Mumbai now, and what Reliance is doing with Mumbai, I think it's phenomenal in terms of not only Reliance, I think even Birla is getting into it. There are a lot of the Geo convention came, bigger brands are coming, luxury is now defining Mumbai, the Galleries Lafayette is coming, at Fort. Luxury was always the second name of Mumbai, but I think people just realized or, think that Mumbai mein to sabke liye jagah hai. But what is the luxury factor that, a person like you thinks about it, who has always spoken about affordability?
See, luxury has a very bright future. Okay. Now, the only challenge with luxury is to know what is the definition, and that definition is subjective, and the price point. Everything is a function of price till you reach ultra luxury. After ultra luxury, then the guy buying a 300 crore house, he'll not haggle, okay, I need 301 crore, I'll not pay, or 302, I'll not pay.
Yeah, but when you talk about, you just said that, it's all about subjective and perspective. Now, luxury, tell me now, for a middle class, going to a good restaurant or eating in, it's a luxury. Having a home which is like a 1 BHK is luxury. But no, I'm talking about the luxury that seems to these investors. What they are doing is they are buying into this ultra luxury areas in Bombay, and they are crippling the entire ecosystem. Are they really crippling is my point?
So, luxury is a very, think of it this way, luxury, it gets sold under construction, but it gets mainly sold at advanced under construction. Okay? Because in that there are two parts of it, right? The guy who is buying a luxury home, he already has a home, right? In between, will he want to stay on rent? I doubt. Okay? The transit. Okay? For status, reputation. At the same time, the luxury buyer also wants to be the first user of the home.
So are you telling me it's like a share bazaar?
It's not like a share bazaar. It's more that you want to have the feeling that I have the first touch. I have the first touch. Okay. So they will not want to buy on day one, but they will want to buy very close to completion. Like just think of it this way: in Mumbai, we've got the 2 or 3 big ultra luxury projects, right? There's Oberoi 360 West. There's the Manzana that's come in the limelight. There's Ayaja Artesia. All of them started 2014-15 onwards. Over 60 West, the first sale happened 2014, but sales happened after 21. When it was close to completion OC. So that buyer is willing to say, boss, I'll pay 20% extra. But I want certainty of what I'll be getting. I'll not be haggling ki nahi, if tomorrow Oberoi says, nahi sir, agar kal aoge, main fir rate badha dunga 5%. You know, do 10%. But I want surety of what you'll be delivering. So, luxury market, there is a bright future, but I don't think most players can execute luxury.
And why do you say so?
See, attention to detail, capital, the entire sales etiquette. Now, when I go to many of these ultra luxury projects, okay, from the moment you enter, there is a vibe, there is an energy, there is a presentation.
Right, it doesn't feel luxury. Have you gotten your definition of luxury right then?
I don't know. See, the thing is, I've gone to the most, I benchmark to one extent, at a simplistic level, I benchmark ultra luxury to the most expensive properties of Bombay.
Okay.
So it's in that way, I just say this is the most expensive, I want to go and check it out. There's like initial song and dance, okay, show me your profile, blah, 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 all those things. But once you're past that, you go over there, that experience should be able to tell you that. Like here, we're sitting now in Goregaon. There are projects over here, which I've gone, which are luxury. But when you go over there, in the first 30 seconds, you can know that the bent of mind of the person is not luxury. Because that first line that the person in the office...
What's a budget?
That is the first thing that kills the thing. If they ask what's your budget, that means it's not a luxury.
I have had, wouldn't want to name, but then, top people of this industry, I went to designing, the first thing they asked me, and I wouldn't name because I will completely blow off your mind. The first thing that they asked me, and I'm doing a project of 1,500 crores in Borivali, which is going to be the luxury building. The first thing the person decides to ask me is, what's your budget? So I don't think people have understood, the whole aspect of luxury in Mumbai. That is one thing. So now tell me, you are a Robinhood, and will the city's wealth turn this voice down, or it's just going to?
No, I don't think it'll turn down. See, I've also, to an extent, from the way I started to now, I've also evolved in my worldview. Okay, because of as the facts change, your opinions change. I don't want to be one of those guys that I will have the same opinion now that I had 5 years later when the ground reality changes. Okay,
Right.
so I think the direction for me is clear. See, deep down, I had a midlife crisis very early on in my life. Okay, and that is one of those moments when you realize that I've not experienced poverty, thankfully, to my parents, but I actually realized that the only worse feeling besides poverty, I think, can be feeling empty. So you need a purpose. So this is, in a way, provided that purpose. Okay. So I used to always look back, and when you read those books on the biographies where people say, you feel empty.
Right.
You can't really imagine that. What does that mean?
Until you feel it.
Yeah, but I've gone through it.
Until you feel it, yeah.
So once you know that, and you know that hurts.
That hurts, yeah. If you don't have a purpose, so being, I'm not going to get feminist and all and tell you that I hoist a flag of that feminism. No, I really think being a woman and being in this field where if I'm in a meeting, I have a band of men, and I have to say things at my position. But this emptiness that you feel, what you're talking about is you feel that nobody is at that level sinking to you and understanding that, because cerebral capacity is going to be one. Let's understand this, okay? You're not smarter than me, I'm not smarter than you. There could be people whose IQs are same, a lot of people. But this feeling of emptiness, what you spoke is really right, because at my position also I feel that a lot of women need to have this purpose of speaking out. There are women, of course, who are doing it, but then majority it feels like a men's playground.
And real estate is largely a men's playground, right? I mean, I don't know, when I see the pictures of these big associations, I don't know, maybe about 1-2% maybe women.
And there are associations who put women to, health camps and everything, which is, of course, a different aspect of it. But then, again, what I feel is for women, you have to specifically say that out that, okay, now we have women and, it's going to be really good. Okay, but that is another topic. We'll talk about it someday.
So basically, women it's easy to be a woman in politics than to be a woman in real estate. Probably.
It's an assumed responsibility, that, woman has to do this. Okay, but anyway, we'll have a chat over this over a cup of coffee. Tell me, which builder, according to you, is doing right today?
So, I'm hesitant to name anybody. Okay.
Vishal Bhargava is hesitant to name a builder.
No, because see, in case if I don't name anybody, then it'll be what I think most people expect. Okay. If I name somebody, I know each one has some of the other gaps that are there. See, I'll tell you what, I like players who are boutique, who make buildings which actually make the city look good. And by buildings looking good, I don't mean glass buildings only. Okay. Like people think glass facade becomes that. I don't look at that. So, the guys who I like are most people have not heard of. Okay. So there's a player called Ashford. Okay. Most people have not heard of him. I'll tell you what, I've never met him. I don't know him. So, but then I know his building. And I'm right now at the stage in my life where if I see the building, most likely I can guess what the personality of the promoter would be.
Okay.
Okay. So if I was to, put up, do a psychoanalysis of the promoter Ashford, he's done 4 projects. One in Malabar Hill, one at Lower Parel, one at Breach Candy, one in Nahur. Okay. So he'll be a guy, very flamboyant, very stylish, wants it on his own terms, doesn't want to put his head down to anyone. Okay. So he will not take up too much work where he'll not be able to handle what he's taken. He'll not want to be beholden to someone that I've taken such a big project where a file gets stuck, I have to suck up to you. If you don't want to do it, I'll wait 6 months. Right. But I want it my way. Okay. So that there's one other player. He's a tricky character. I know him well. A player called Sadhguru in Bandra. He'll come on my podcast also. So I'll put it this way: that he's very confident to the point that I think there is arrogance.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's his approach. And
Of course.
so again, tasteful buildings, does the job, doesn't buckle down on price, but makes the city look good. Amongst the branded names, see, most branded names have actually disappointed me a lot.
Why do you think they all are coming to Mumbai? Prestige is ruling Mumbai. DLF made an entry. Why Mumbai?
See, because Mumbai, actually, if you think of it, it's a great market if you're a good quality developer. A Mumbai buyer, for him, delivery is achievement. No, he's not looking at quality. You have lowered his benchmarks to the point where you just give the house and he feels happy.
Right.
So I think the Bangalore guys are specialists in their job.
Yep.
Okay. Bangalore quality versus Mumbai quality is substantially superior.
Of course.
So they realize it's a very low-hanging fruit. I'm surprised they didn't do that earlier. Now they can do it, and Prestige, now you see the response. It's very strong.
It's very good.
They build it, they construct fast. The price is very nimble. I saw the Prestige ka commercial tower at famous studios Mahalakshmi. They've done a rehab tower, and I am pretty certain the way the rehab tower looks, I've not gone inside. It's better than the sale tower of many of our Mumbai builders.
Right. Of course.
So it's a low-hanging fruit. This is an opportunity. Hopefully, to encourage the Mumbai developers to raise their game. Mumbai developers have realized they have a standard excuse for every issue. We get very tired with the approvals, the BMC. There's too much.
You think there should be a change in policy in any of the policies that is going around in Mumbai? Because I know there's a lot of bodies which don't have a common connecting factor to them, like MMRDA. A separate volume is happening connecting cities. There's BMC who always there is some of the other issues, and if any hartal or anything happens, they are the first ones jumping there. And then there is
SRA, MMRDA, सब लोग हैं.
what do you think is a real issue in the policies that needs to be cleared, for the smooth selling of the city that needs that?
See, actually, I think we need much lesser rules. Your DCPR, I hope we bring it down by 90%. Okay. But we enforce the remaining 10%.
Yeah.
Our problem is we have goddamn too many rules, but nobody enforcing it. Like when we talk about this, trees. We're supposed to transplant it. Where the hell is it? I don't see any of it. Just a token ke liye bana diya, theek hai, kar hum log. So, let's reduce the number of rules by 90%. Mumbai has too many builders and too many rules. We bring the number of builders down by 90%, the number of rules down by 90%. Everybody will be happy.
So, Vishal, tell me, a common man like you who always talks about affordability and who's been the voice, what if you're made the CM for a day? What changes would you like to bring about?
So, I would like Mumbai to not be governed the way it is. And for that, we have to change the way Mumbai leadership is. We don't need a Chief Minister of Maharashtra who has a BMC commissioner to run Mumbai. We need for Mumbai and all other cities, we need to go back to the mayor system. Okay, where a person is elected by the people and he is responsible for that city. Mumbai's problem is that politicians get elected from other parts of Maharashtra, come over here, don't really care about the city and go back. So, we need people who actually care about Mumbai to make sure that Mumbai becomes livable, becomes affordable. Everybody will gain. We don't need a system that I come to Mumbai for a posting to make money and go back.
Good. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions real quick, and I just need one word answer, for everything. I need to know your perspective in just one word. It's not going to be like, the normal rapid fire that it's your perspective. What comes to your mind when you first think about this? Luxury in Mumbai.
Elevator wait time.
The worst developer in Mumbai.
I think we'll need like a 1 hour podcast just to name all of them. There's so many.
A good developer in Mumbai.
Ashford at the boutique level. There's Oberoi at the bigger level. K. Raheja.
Amenities.
Showpiece.
Brochures.
The most useless form of marketing.
Sales.
Strategy.
Marketing.
Unevolved in real estate for the last 25 years.
Influencers.
Brokers who know how to use social media intelligently.
Channel partners.
Their blood group is B positive.
Vishal Bhargava.
That stumped me. Okay. Vishal Bhargava is angry but aiming to not be angry in future.
Good. All right. Thank you so much, Vishal. Pleasure having you and knowing your perspective.
Thank you.
Lovely having you over there.
Thank you.